plans, you're doing big things, let us know. Um, I will tell you, I was thinking about what do I talk about today? And we're going to talk about making sure that we stay committed to the goals that we are planning on doing and how we can make that happen. But before we do, I would love to know any wins that you had this last week or even the last couple of weeks that you would like to share. We're going to open up the call to let us just kind of talk about some wins we had. So let me just make sure that I have it so that you can. Anybody like to share? Let me make sure. Yeah, would anybody like to share a win that you had this last week or even somebody in your team? I'm going to open this up. You can either click on your mic or you can drop it in the chat, but let me know if you'd like to share a win. And you can click on your mic if you would like to. Let me see if I can see all of you. Anybody want to share a win? Oh,
I can share.
Stephanie. Awesome. Hi.
Hi, it's great to see you back. So I had someone join and then her friend joined like right behind her, which was amazing. So we kind of already built some momentum and I had a welcome call with them this weekend. And one of them was like, "Oh, I'm probably not going to start sharing until I get my own results." And I said, "Let's go into the ripple effect and let's see all the results that are already there." And as we were chatting, they were all thinking about, "Oh, you know what? There's this person that I can talk to and this person that I can talk to." I was like, "Okay, perfect. Good. I've planted the seed that like let's not wait, right? Because it's not
Absolutely.
about us. We're making other people wait for this." So it was just really powerful to have both of them on the welcome call and just that the wheels are spinning and that they're probably going to end up doing more than they had anticipated, which you know is awesome that that's the result from that call.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you know what I love about that most is have you ever felt stuck? And it's like, how do I get unstuck? Well, the very best way to get unstuck is just to take action. That one little step forward will create some momentum that will make more things happen. And I love that. I love that you just took action and you got some things rolling. That's awesome. Anybody else want to share? Share a win? It can be a small win, it can be a big win.
I have something.
Awesome. Thank you.
Hey, so and it's just a bottle of Transform, and I know I say it's just a bottle of Transform, but it was a huge deal for me because she is a nurse that I work with that is super skeptical of all natural products, and
Mhm.
she's wanting to come off of her metformin.
That is a
And
big
so
deal.
yes, and so she bought it last night, and I was like super pumped because I really think that when this works for her, because I know that it will, she
Mhm.
will kind of go down the rabbit hole of like, okay, this is like a really good company, and I can do some big things with this.
That is awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Yeah.
Hey, that's cool. Awesome. Anybody else want to share?
I will share.
Awesome. Hi.
Hi. Megan here, everybody. I have someone on my team that kind of disappeared after, all of the changes and the comp plan and things, when Transform and we were lost, waiting for things and whatever. So she, fell off and I've just been still connecting with her. But anyway, out of the blue, with, I guess with the relaunch of Canada, things are getting exciting again. And so she's got a customer who's always been ordering the collagen and she's still been getting paid. And she's like, how am I still getting paid? Because you have customers. It's amazing.
Right.
So she's got her pumped, put it into a three-way with me now, her customer to figure out how she can also sell it. So, it's really cool when, people are, jumping on and being excited and I'm still here. I've been here. So I tell her like, I can be the one to talk to your people because that's what helps and that'll help her get going. And it's exciting.
I love it. Well, congrats. That's so good. That is
Yeah.
awesome. Again, it's about just taking action, right? It's making things happen. We can make anything happen if we just start taking action. And I've learned that we're going to talk a little bit more about that. But before we do, anybody else want to share?
I'll share. Good
Hi.
morning, everybody. Nice to see you again, Mindy. I met a young gal. She's 21. So I'm like, she's super young, has never done anything like this. I met her at an event that I co-facilitated. She's an inspiring photographer. She is originally from Australia.
Okay.
She's here nannying, and we started chatting at a lunch break at this event, and this was probably 5, 6 weeks ago. And I just really felt this connection with her. So I stayed in contact with her and I shared about this business. She called me the other day. We went for lunch. She has signed up yesterday. She already has her wheels are turning. She has no clue what she's getting into at all. She's super keen. She's like, my mom will do this. She's like, when is Australia opening? She's like super excited. So I am so excited to go on this journey with her. So yeah, that was a big win is she's like, I'm going in, I'm saying yes, and I'm just going to learn. So hopefully I can get her on one of these meetings to just be inspired by all of you in the near future.
I
So that
love
was a big,
it. Yeah,
yeah,
that is a huge win. Great job, Kim. Congrats.
thanks.
I love that. So good. Anybody else want to share a win? I know we've had a
Good
lot.
morning.
Good
I
morning.
have one.
Hi.
So mine was an obstacle, but then I started listening to a book that Eric Worre suggested, which was I can't remember what it's called now, but basically turning our obstacles into your advantage.
Mhm.
And Janet did a power hour last week, and she said, I challenge you guys to go to the grocery store and do your elevator speech. And I had the opportunity. Some men were working on our house, and he asked what I did, and I just said what my profession is as a dietitian. I couldn't even get the words out to say about network marketing. And so instead of being stuck and being like, well, screw it, I'm not going to do it, I reached out to Janet and said, will you help me do this? Because I know that that obstacle, once I get over it, is going to make a huge difference when I'm in the grocery store and having these random conversations, because nobody cares that I'm a dietitian unless they need my help. But
Mhm.
everybody wants to feel better and make more money,
Right.
as we know. So for me, that's a huge win to not stuff the obstacle down, but to use it as a stepping stone and to reach out for help. So I love this community.
Good job. I'm excited about that. Again, it's taken action. You did it. Good job. I love it. Okay, we have time for one more share. Does anybody want to share a win or anything that they have? I love hearing this. How many of you love to hear people's, wins and how they push through those obstacles? I love it. Anybody else want to share? Okay, well, then we are going to go right into talking about how to move forward. So let me ask all of you a question. I want you to drop it in the chat. Um, how many of you set New Year's goals? Okay, you had some New Year's goals, or you had some things that you said, I'm going to do this, I'm committed, I'm making this happen. And then maybe it hasn't quite. Now, let me know if you have the goals, okay? But, and you don't have to say this in the chat, but maybe some of you set the goals and it hasn't quite worked out exactly how you thought it was going to work out, okay? The reason why I want to talk about this is because last Friday was known as Quitter's Day. How many of you guys know what I'm talking about? It's the day that most people quit on their goals. Most people, in fact, I believe I read a stat, and I don't know if this is true or not, so don't quote me on this, but it was something like 8% of the people quit their goals. 8% actually stay committed to their goals after Quitter's Day. So basically 92% of the people quit their goals by that Quitter's Day, which is the second Friday of January. And so why do you think that happens? Well, I'm going to tell you, first of all, I want all of you to know my story because many years ago, I got in this industry. I've been in this industry now for almost 20 years. Okay. I mean, give or take different years. But I got started in this industry 18 years ago. And I remember starting and being super excited. And my first 4 months, I really struggled. It was a start and a stop and a start and a stop. And I set so many goals to hit, certain levels. And I just was really struggling. And so I want to talk a little bit about, first of all, you can't fail if you don't quit. So if you feel like that maybe you set these big goals, but it hasn't worked out exactly how you thought, that's okay. It does not mean that you are a failure. You can't fail if you don't quit. There's 3 types of people. There's winners, there's quitters, and then there's winners who haven't won yet. So if it hasn't worked out perfectly, that's okay. Just reset your intentions and then think about a few things. Okay. What is holding you back? So many years ago, when I got in this industry and I was, super excited about the opportunity and what I could go create, there were a few things that I realized that hold me back. And one of those things was my past failures. Isn't that crazy? The baggage that I was carrying around, it was like I was carrying around, millions of suitcases of past failures in my life and thinking, well, if it happened this way one time, then it's going to happen this way again. Like I couldn't get over some of the things that maybe hadn't worked out so well. So for example, I didn't believe that I was a successful business person. Back then I was a preschool teacher. My husband and I got into the franchise space, failed miserably in that space. In fact, sold it for half of what we put our life savings into. Then we had another company that was going well, but my husband was literally gone all the time. And so everything that we had done up to that point, I felt like that we had these big dreams, but they didn't ever work out exactly how we wanted them to work out. And so subconsciously, not consciously, but subconsciously, I was carrying around this past baggage of, oh, what if this doesn't work out like I thought? If I put all of my efforts into this and it fails again, that's not going to be good, and I realized I was carrying around a bunch of baggage. And it wasn't until I just dropped all of that and I said, you know what? It doesn't matter what happened in my past. My circumstances today, the things that have happened, they don't define what I can go create. I am going to choose a different path. I am going to make a decision and win. And I am not going to let this past baggage or these past failures stop me from creating something big. And every time I would set a goal and it didn't quite work out, I would come to that conclusion and I would just say, you know what? You can't fail if you don't quit. Failure can't cope with persistence. Eventually you will win. And so I want to say this because I was really thinking about this whole quitter's day. A lot of people, what they do is they just give up and then they think, well, that's not for me. Or maybe they give up for a little bit and they let time pass them by and then they set the goal again. But don't let that time pass you by. Like just redefine, okay, what am I creating? What made me stop from doing this? A lot of times the biggest reason why people actually give up on their goals is because they're interested in it, but they're not committed into it, right? It's not about your ability, it's about your commitment. So how do you get committed to something that you truly want? Well, some signs to know if you're committed or not. Do you feel anxiety about getting it done? Or do you just kind of procrastinate and, don't do it? If you're procrastinating or you're making excuses about getting the thing done that you said you were going to do, that means that you are more interested in it. It's more of a wish, but it's not a must. It's not something like, I have to have this. I have to make this happen. Until it's a must, you probably will come up with excuses. You probably will procrastinate. So how do you make it a must? Well, really think about, why do you want this? Okay, what do you want to go create? So for me, my first 4 months in this industry, I was working full time. So how many of you are working? If you are working full time, okay, you can absolutely do this, but I was working full time as an early education director. I have 4 children. At that time, my youngest was 7, my oldest was 13. How many of you have kids? I used to, make my kids my excuse too, by the way, because they had activities, they had things going on, and so I would go to all those activities and everything. But I realized I'm going to have to give up a few activities in order to have, the success that I want in this business. But it took me a while. So I had some pretty legit excuses. Working full time, my husband was traveling all the time. So that meant I, was in charge of getting my kids to all their activities, doing all the things. But it wasn't until I just got sick and tired of being sick and tired, and I realized I have got to make changes in my life. I've got to do something different to get the results that I want. And so I'm going to give you some key things that will help you, that helped me to stop the procrastination, to stop the excuses, and just to move forward. First of all, one of the biggest keys is I realized why I was doing what I was doing. Like, your why has to be big enough that it makes you cry. If you're going to your messenger, or you're going to send a video, or you're going to do something and you procrastinate, like you're just like, oh, I'll do it another time, or maybe I shouldn't reach out to them now because, I don't want to say too much, or I want to do it right. That's procrastination. That was me. Okay. So my first 4 months, I was doing that. I was skipping over names. The phone weighed 800,000 pounds, and I wasn't doing what I said I was going to do. And then one day I just decided I wanted it bad enough. One day I remember looking at my list, looking at the people that I needed to reach out to, and I just started crying. And I started crying because I was thinking about that if I don't do something different, I'm always going to be where I am. I'm always going to be stressed out about how we're going to pay our mortgage. I'm always going to be stressed out about, I have 4 children. And at that time, the thing that stressed me the most is I would drop my daughter off at the school bus at 8:30 because I had to be to work by 9, even though the bus didn't come till 8:45. She had to be there by herself waiting for the bus. Okay. I didn't like that. I hated it. And that is what made me cry when I started thinking about that. I am doing that instead of being with her, or, going and getting school supplies, and always stressed out about how I was going to pay those school supplies. Like, it was all those different things, right? That stressed me out, that I started thinking, I'm not doing this anymore. I am making a decision to win. I am willing to do whatever it takes to do this. And that whatever it takes is really what is your whatever it takes. So what's holding you back from making that decision to go all in, to send the message, to do the video, to do the things that you need to do, to make it happen? Well, I always thought it was fear, right? But really what it was is I just didn't want it bad enough. Until I wanted it bad enough, then I didn't care what anybody else thought. I just went and did it, and there was no emotion to it. And when I started doing that, we exploded. Okay. So here's some key things that happened. First of all, I got really clear on why I was doing this. Okay. So if you're struggling with a goal, then really think about, why do you want it? Do you want it bad enough that you're willing to sacrifice and do what it takes? And think about the obstacles that you're going to have to go through. So what do you have to stop doing? What do you have to start doing? And what do you have to keep doing to hit that goal? Okay. But why are you doing this? Like, what is it that's going to drive you to make that happen? Okay. So what is stopping you, or what do you have to do to live the life that you truly imagine to live? Okay. And then the second thing that I had to do is I had to decide when I was doing this. Okay. This is so, so important. When are you going to make these things happen? Do you have a clear plan on when you're doing it? Because that's really key. And so for me, I actually made a schedule for myself. You can block out time. You can do time boxing. What I mean by that is maybe there's a certain amount of time that you're going to spend on social media, right? Where you set a goal for 20 minutes. I'm going to do this many reach outs. You set your timer and you do nothing else except for you reach out for 20 minutes. But do you have a time set for when you are going to accomplish and work on this goal? This is so important for me. I realized that I had to get my whole family enrolled into my goals. Let your friends and people around you know what your goals are and why you're doing it. That's important too, and set those intentions with them. But now, then once you have that commitment and you've set your intentions and you have that time that you're going to work that goal, then that last step is just don't let your head hit the pillow until you get the job done. Just don't let it hit the pillow. See, you all have the ability, and for those of you who don't know me, so many years ago, I was super shy. I was not a sharp business person. I had no business being in business, but I had huge dreams. And it was that one commitment. See, you're just one commitment away from a massive explosion for your family. And so the last thing that I will say is if you are struggling to get this done, what are some key things that you need to learn and implement to do? One other thing is a way to know if you're interested or you're committed. Okay. Interest is jumping on a wake up call like this, or jumping on a Mojo Monday. I guess this is Mojo Monday, but jumping on a Mojo Monday like this. Okay. And learning, but then not implementing after you learn, right? That's interest. I've done that, right? Or reading a book and getting great advice, or jumping on a coaching call and getting great advice and great training, but then not implementing what you learn. It's so much better to read one book all year long and implement that one book than read a book a day, but not implement anything, right? We can learn like crazy, but you know what? You will actually get more out of it when you apply it. Okay. So you can consume all day long, but until you apply and take action, you're not going to get those results. So what are some things maybe that you need to learn as well? Write those things down to take action. But don't wait to learn, okay? Or don't just consume all day long. Consume, but then apply what you learn every single day. John Maxwell taught this very best. He says that he reads a book and he first just reads the book. And then he goes back through the book and he highlights the key things that he loved in the book. And then the third thing he does is he implements the highlights, the things that he said to do, and implements it before he moves on to the next book. And so are you implementing the things that you're learning? And what are some things that you have to learn? In fact, I would love for you to drop this in the chat, because we will take some of these things for our wake up calls. Every Wake Up Wednesday, we do leadership training, but we would love you to drop in the chat anything that you feel like, some skills or things that you feel you need to learn. We will be going over those things this year. One of the things for me, just to give you an example of what I mean, one of the things for me is I never thought I was a closer. Okay. I was like, okay, I will reach out to these people, but I don't know how to close them and tell them, you've got to do this with me. Like, we're going to make this happen and get them signed up and moving forward. I just didn't think I was. And so I had that as an excuse, by the way. And then what happened is I started learning about closing, but I would implement what I would learn. And all of a sudden I became a master at closing, right? I realized I am a natural closer. I am good at closing. You have those skills, they're already in you. So you already have what it takes to do it. But maybe you just need to refine some things. Maybe there's some things that you feel you can learn, but then just start implementing those things. So, okay. So here is the goal this week. Okay. This is your call to action this week. I'm looking at some things and we're going to be talking about some of those things this next week, but here is your call to action today. If you set a goal for New Year's, okay, I just believe in setting goals all the time, by the way. Okay, it doesn't have to just be New Year's. You guys can have the very best year of your life if you are intentional. Be intentional every single day. You will not get results in your life if you're always playing defense, right? If we're always just taking the scraps of our life and defending everything that comes our way, that's not going to get us to that next level of our life. So how are you going to take your life to the next level in 2025? You got to play offense. And if you feel defeated right now because maybe you set some goals and it hasn't worked out exactly, guess what? All you have to do is just get yourself back up and say, you know what? I'm committed. I'm doing this. It's a new day. It's a new year. I'm making this happen. It's a new week. I'm doing whatever it takes. The great thing that we all have is a new day. We all have a new day. We all have actually a new minute, a new hour. Every minute you can make a new choice. You can make a new, commitment to do something. And so today, what I recommend is, what is your intention? Every day, ask yourself, what is my intention? What am I going to go create today? Like, what is my big picture? What do I want to go do? But then what are the things you can do right now to take your life to that next level? And every day, win the day. Like, make a commitment that, I can do anything for 7 days. And these next 7 days, I'm just going to win every day. Every day, I am going to do what I set myself out to do. I'm not going to let my head hit the pillow till I get it done. And then I am going to celebrate, those wins every single day. It can be a small win, it can be a big win, but celebrate those. And then next Mojo Monday, I want to hear about all of these wins that you have this next week. Maybe one of them is that you are going to reach out to the scariest person on your list. You're going to commit to, reach out and make 50 new friends this week. Or maybe it is, but it's about connections and it's about reaching out and taking your life to the next level. So what are those things that you're going to just do a little bit better every single day so that you can win the day? Okay, it's not about your ability, it's about your commitment. And so if for some reason you found yourself in that quitters category on Friday of last week, okay, on that quitters day, it's okay. It's a new day. Okay, new week, new goals, new day. You have the ability. And so make that commitment, get intentional, and let's go kick some butt. Okay, let's go do some big things. Just step out of that comfort zone and just know when you do that, when you take action, then you're going to let the universe know that you're committed. And once you make a definite decision to do something, the universe is going to respond. The people are going to come to you. The resources are going to come to you. The ideas are going to come to you for you to go create the life that you truly want. So don't give up. You have the ability. Let's go do some big things. And this week, okay, just go win the day. Like every day, just win the day. And I can't wait to celebrate next Monday your big wins. Now, I want to let you know that tomorrow night we have a special event happening. We're going to be doing an overview. Go to the featured section of Power Players because you have top producing Red Diamond Kylie Riegler and myself, and top producing Blue Diamond Miss Jennifer Dowd. We're going to be doing a big overview where you get the people in front of us. We're going to help you sign them up. Okay, we're going to be doing an overview of our amazing products as well as our amazing compensation plan. And then we're going to do a quick start training right after that. So it's going to be a quick 30-minute overview of the products and compensation plan. And then right after that, like right on that same Zoom, we're going to do a quick start training showing them how they can make money in Trinont in their first couple of weeks. Okay. So this will be amazing for anybody that's seen the business before, but they haven't told you yes yet. They're thinking about it. Have them jump on. This will be good for anybody that's never seen the business. Okay. So anybody this will be good for. This will be good for anybody that just got started in the business, but they are, wanting to know how to jumpstart their business, get rocking and rolling, and understand kind of the process of overviews and all of that. Get them on. So pretty much anybody that you know that breathes oxygen, you want them on this overview tomorrow night. Okay. All right, you guys. So good to see you all. Thank you so much for sharing. You guys are amazing. And do not forget, this Thursday, I'm so excited about our Mojo canisters, you guys. This is going to be more PV and they're less expensive in the canister. So all of your Mojo customers get to all of them. All of you get excited about this because this will be big. And of course, you get the free mug. So that's going to be happening this Thursday. So let everybody know around you. Okay, love you all. And we'll see you all tomorrow night. You guys have a great day. Let's go win the day. Bye, everybody.